Noah Church here. This is my video coaching series, and I got an email here from a gentleman who's having a problem experiencing pleasure during sex and reaching orgasm. He says, "Dear Mr. Noah, I had discovered porn at the age of 13. Not videos, but just pictures of naked girls. I never masturbated to them as I hadn't discovered masturbation back then." So this gentleman, he discovered porn before he even started to masturbate. And we know from different stories and anecdotes that guys who started to use porn and develop those habits before having sex or before having any girlfriends, kissing even, they tend to develop more problems sooner and have a harder, longer time recovering than guys who had sex before using porn. And now, since you didn't even start masturbating before using porn, that means that porn has always been a part of your sexuality. Porn was really what started your sexual development, so that's been linked all this time. So it might take you a while to move away from porn and toward real intimacy with women, with partners, and really forming that emotional connection and experiencing sex in the way that you should. I mean, for me, I started masturbating long before I started using porn just because I was always a horny little kid and masturbated to fantasy, so at least I had that masturbation experience separate from porn. But even then, I had a lot of problems, sexual dysfunction, because of my porn habits, and it took me a while to recover. It might take you a while as well, but in no way is it hopeless. He said, "I discovered masturbation when I was 14. It was only images, not videos." He describes his first masturbatory experience. Then he says, when he first entered college, and here's where it got out of control, I had my own room and fast internet connection. A recipe for trouble right there. I was watching hardcore porn and masturbating twice a day, rarely 3 times, from the age of 18 until 26. So yeah, I was masturbating heavily for around 8 years. I never had a girlfriend and rarely spoke to a girl. Yeah, man, you're wired to porn. A lot of us are. But that doesn't mean you can't rewire yourself and reboot. At the end of March, I thought, man, I can't get a girlfriend, so I'll just hire a hooker. Here's the interesting part. I did not have sex with her, since it is against my religion, but I managed to get a hand job and foot job from her. I'm not trying to razz you or anything, or razz your religion, but is your religion cool with foot jobs from prostitutes? I was rock hard, but just could not feel anything. Throughout the session, I was thinking, why can't I feel anything, despite being rock hard and able to maintain an erection? I then told her to finish me. It took about 5 minutes, and she told me, I think you are not coming, but I told her to continue. At the end, I finished. I left thinking, why did I not feel anything? I thought maybe it was my first time and I was nervous, so I came back home and late that night decided to masturbate to see if everything was okay. It went well, so I thought I was okay. I came to a false conclusion that I was just nervous. I then watched a video on YouTube that grabbed my attention. Someone had the same problem as me, and it was when I discovered that I had death grip syndrome. That's what a lot of guys call it, death grip syndrome. It means that you have developed this masturbatory habit that is much more forceful and applies more pressure and is more specific than you would ever experience during sex. So, you've masturbated so many times for so long and so consistently without having real sexual experiences that you've wired yourself to reach orgasm only through your own hand, only through those sensations that you've accustomed yourself to so much. And this is more common with guys who don't use lube, because without that lube it's even less like real sex. It's even less like those sensations of actual vaginal intercourse. And my problem was porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and it sounds like at least you don't have that. But even after I cured myself of PIED, I had what you have. I couldn't really reach orgasm, I couldn't feel much during sex, and it took me a long time to come, if I even could. Most times I couldn't even do it. It took me close to a year of abstaining from porn, abstaining from masturbation, and rewiring with real women to really reach that point where it was like, wow, okay, sex is actually awesome. Everyone was right all this time. And I was feeling it feeling sex and feeling that intimate connection through my penis in a way that was divine and bringing me to orgasm. And I certainly think you can get there as well. I knew something had to change. Here was my plan. Week 1. Stopped masturbating for a week, but didn't stop porn. It was easy, but I felt miserable, very low sexual energy, no morning wood, and low erections. I then masturbated to porn, but slowly with lube. Week 2, same as week 1, but a little better. Week 3, started using a penile health oil called Man 1 Man Oil. No porn for 3 days, then started watching again. Morning wood was starting to get restored. Okay, I'm starting to get the idea that you haven't really read my book. You don't really know what I'm about, the basics here, because I would never include porn in a recovery plan. Porn is what brought you to this point. You desensitized yourself neurologically by seeking out all this new content all the time, using porn every single day, and you desensitized yourself physically by masturbating to porn all that time. I'm sure if you didn't have porn, you probably wouldn't have masturbated as much as you did, and desensitized yourself in that way. Porn is what started you down this path to not having the real intimate sexual connection that you want. So porn has to go. Week number 4. This week I decided to quit PMO cold turkey. I erased all porn from my PC. Okay, now we're talking, now we're on the right track. My morning wood is back. I get erections the instant I get sexual thoughts, but slap myself to stay in control. Whatever works. This is my 4th day this week. I also got an erotic dream when a girl made me come, but I woke up dry and not wet. Okay. Also during this week, I'm trying to get erections from staring at real girls' ass, legs, etc. I'm trying to rewire my brain to telling it this is the real thing. Advise me if this is a good strategy. I don't think it is. We're trying to rewire ourselves into experiencing pleasure from real intimacy, interaction with partners, having that loving connection, experiencing sex with somebody else. And I'm all for appreciating the beauty of women you see in public. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But actually staring at their asses or their legs or something and trying to get hard, you're still a voyeur in that instance. You're not actually getting out of your comfort zone and opening new pathways in your mind. You said you never had a girlfriend before, you don't talk to women very often. That's what you should be channeling your sexual energy into, is developing your social life, meeting people, interacting with attractive women, and developing yourself personally. And I'm not saying you should try to pick up every attractive girl you meet, but I think a good starting point would be trying to converse with attractive women that you meet. Just generally try to get to know them. Be curious about them, ask questions, have a conversation. And once you get good at that, open new doors for you, and I think things will naturally progress from there. This is my plan. No PMO for a solid 30 to 40 days, and then I will try again with the girl, while still using the Man 1 Man Oil. Advise me if this is a good strategy. I would say no PMO for a lifetime, but if you can't handle that, at least for 90 days, or until you reach a point where you're having the relationships and the sexual pleasure that you want, that you desire. I would recommend after you get there, don't go back to PMO, because a lot of guys get to the point where they are happy with that, and then think they can reintroduce porn on a time-to-time basis, and then they end up sliding down that slippery slope and reintroducing the problems that they thought they'd purged their lives of into their life back again, and then they're just back where they started. So my recommendation is no PMO for a lifetime, and no masturbation for at least a month. But I would say until you get to that point where you're having sex, you're enjoying it, you're able to orgasm with the woman, and you feel like you've cured yourself. And then you can try to reintroduce healthy masturbation habits into your life if you so choose. You say you want to do this for 30 or 40 days and then try again with the girl, but I think you mean try again with the prostitute. And I can't in good conscience advise that. we're trying to rewire ourselves to forming real emotional and sexual connections with women. At least that's what I advocate. I think sex is a natural progression from an emotional bond that we form with each other. And prostitution, I mean, I've seen a lot of guys get rid of their porn addiction and then rewire themselves to a prostitute addiction, which I don't think is healthy. I don't see it leading to good places for a lot of these guys. And I know you want to probably feel sexually confident before you go out there and try to hook up with a real girl, but I don't think that going to a prostitute is the solution. I think forming real connections with real women, that will lead you to the right destination, where you really want to be. As far as the Man One Man oil goes, I don't know. I never used any of those oils or creams or pills to help me along my journey. It might speed up the process. I don't know. I doubt it, but it could work. I can't speak to that with any authority. But I can say that you don't need it. I've seen guys who had worse habits than you recover fully without using any of those supplements or aids. And all it takes is abstaining from porn, abstaining from masturbation, and developing yourself personally and socially, revamping your life, forming intimate connections with women or other partners, and your sexual dysfunction will take care of itself. Alright, if you appreciated these messages and you'd like to show that appreciation, you can go to my website, addictedtointernetporn.com, and you can donate to me there. If you have a question or a story that you think I'd have some insight on, then you can send it to me, 3 to 4 detailed but brief paragraphs, and you can contact me in the description below. Coach Church out.